A warm welcome to another edition of Diplomatic Channel. I'm Amarachi Ubani. This week on the program, we're in the final week of the International Women's History Month. And so we decided to go back to that conference that changed the future of women's rights, which we still talk about today. The Beijing Conference of 1995 was the fourth international conference on women with the theme Equality, Development and Peace for All. It was at this conference that over 17,000 women adopted the Beijing Declaration and Platform for Action. It was a turning point for the global agenda for gender equality, consolidating 5 decades of legal advances. The Beijing Declaration and Platform for Action set strategic objectives and actions for the advancement of women and the achievement of gender equality in 12 critical areas of concern: women in poverty, educating and training women, women in health, violence against women, women and armed conflict, women and the economy, women in power and decision-making, institutional mechanism for the advancement of women, human rights of women, women and media, women and the environment, and the girl child. It's been 30 years since the International Women's Conference in Beijing, and the 69th session of the Commission on the Status of Women took place at the UN headquarters in New York from March 10 to the 21st of this year. The Chinese Consul General to Nigeria, Yan Yuqing, says there will be a celebration of the Beijing Conference in August of this year. Our conversation traces back to the time of the 1995 conference, where she was at the time, who looks up to her now, and her thoughts on a future female president of China. But first, a quick check on other discussions in diplomatic circles.
You may please be seated.
The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Yusuf Tuga, has reiterated the federal government's commitment to advancing the nation's 4D foreign policy, which is democracy, development, diaspora, and demography.
African countries were looking to Nigeria to lead.
Ambassador Tuga made this statement at the 2025 Ministerial News Briefing in Abuja. He explained that the 4D foreign policy doctrine clearly defined Nigeria's global role, interest, and active international engagement. He told journalists, "Imagine a Nigeria whose passport opened doors, whose businesses lead global markets, and whose voice is not just heard, but respected. That Nigeria is no longer a dream. Nigeria's foundation is being laid by President Tinubu's 4D foreign policy doctrine." The minister highlighted achievements in the past year to include repositioning Nigeria globally, amplifying her voice in multilateral and bilateral fora, implementing the 4D foreign policy, the release of Nigerians detained in Addis Ababa, Saudi Arabia and the UAE, and evacuating African students from Ukraine, as well as contributing to diplomatic efforts to evacuate infants and babies from Gaza to hospitals located in Jordan, Egypt and the United Arab Emirates, deploying 213 technical aid corps volunteers to ACP countries.
For finished products to be exported. A lot of African countries.
Meanwhile, the Minister of Foreign Affairs attributed delay to the release of the ambassadorial nomination list to the complexities of governance and political processes. Tuga emphasized that the nominations have been concluded and the names will be forwarded to the Senate. The Senate had previously rejected a list of non-career ambassadorial nominees due to over 250 petitions against the nominees. The chairman of the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, Mrs. Abike Dabire-Erewa, has applauded the establishment of the Nigerian Immigration's Welcome Center in Ontario, Canada, set to be launched soon by the Ontario Nigerian community leaders on April 12, 2025. The first of its kind center is aimed at helping new and existing Nigerian migrants settle adequately in Canada and to provide assistance where necessary. The center in Ontario will provide services such as career mentoring, settlement support, job placement, language coaching, empowerment programs, and food bank assistance. She called on other Nigerian communities globally to as well provide such centers in their communities. She promised that NIDCOM would cooperate with organizations prioritizing the welfare of Nigerians abroad.
Bonjour,
Ça va? Comment allez-vous? Just a few common phrases in French that could lead to a whole new world of learning about the people who speak the language, their way of life, and how they relate with their neighbors. For years, Les Francophonie, French speakers have been celebrating the language, especially in Africa, said to be home to half the population of French speakers in the world.
And we have a surprise for you because we just organized...
Recently in Lagos, a section of diplomats, officials, schools and just people interested in the language gathered to celebrate once more.
Create, innovate.
The French and Canadian consuls general highlight the importance of learning the language.
French is no longer just a means of communication, but a language of cooperation, mobilization, and concrete action to change the world. And this conviction is at the heart of the theme chosen for the Francophonie celebration in Nigeria this year, 25.
As someone who currently speaks a few languages, I can say that knowledge of languages is a real opening to the world, one that allows us better to understand each other, our cultures, and our perspectives.
They later speak on current efforts made in their relations with Nigeria.
Today, climate change, biodiversity, loss, pollution threaten our planet. But through collective action, we can make a difference. The organization, the Francophonie organization, has already shown its commitment by launching different initiatives. But probably the most important one is the Institute for Sustainable Development, which helps countries or members to develop green policies and transition to sustainable energy.
For our part, Canada is strongly committed to taking action to address climate change here in Nigeria, in Africa, and around the world. And as part of our new Africa strategy, and moments ago I was talking about that, how just in the last week we've launched a new ambitious strategy for the continent, we were pleased to recently announce $5 million in new funding to support rural women in Nigeria.
To crown the celebration, awards are given to school children and students of Alliance Française who have participated in various competitions. Welcome back. Consul General Yan Yuqing has been in Nigeria for 2 years, becoming the first female Chinese Consul General to the country. She says she feels very at home here in Nigeria and loves the people. The people love her back, which is why she's been given 3 female Nigerian names. See if you can pick them out in the interview. So, Consul General Yan Uchi Ayo Fatima Yuqing, thank you for speaking with us on Diplomatic Channel.
Thank you for your interview. Yes.
I know that the last time I was here, I think you've been Consul General for about 2 or 3 years now, and I think I was one of the first people to interview you, to welcome you to Nigeria. We had a very good conversation back then. So you spent some time in the country. What is your experience? What do you like about Nigeria now?
I worked many times in Europe and 5 years in South America. And I must say that I love Africa, I love Nigeria very much, especially Lagos. So I arrived in Lagos almost 2 years. I'm so proud that I'm the 8th Consul General of China in Lagos, but I'm the first female one. And also during the past 2 years, I recognized so many outstanding Nigerian people, and also I have a very beautiful Nigerian name. So they call me Ayo Uchi Fatima, and I like to communicate with local people and together with the Chinese community to make achievement for our bilateral relations, and also we together made so many charitable activities. And really, we together with Chinese community to make so many activities. I just wanted to give you two examples. 2 years before, I proposed a charitable event. We call it Renewed Hope, Rebirth from the Light. So we together with Chinese community to help the cataract sufferers to make an operation, and then they can rebirth from the light. Up to now, we have already helped more than 300 Nigeria patients, include so many women and children. Yes, the youngest only 9 months, and the eldest 95 years old. They are so happy. And this year, during the Spring Festival, I proposed another event. We call it Together Fight Against Hunger and Poverty. So we donated the food, yes, like rice, oil, noodles, for 50 women from the low-income family. So I think that really Chinese people love Nigeria, and we try our best to develop our relationship, especially people-to-people exchanges.
And it is interesting that, I'm speaking with you in the month of International Women's History Month. And when you talk about that, people's minds go back to the Beijing Conference of 1995, even though there have been other international conferences on women. The reason the Beijing Conference stands out is because of the plan of action, for women that was agreed on at that conference. What was life in China for women at the time, and where were you?
Very good question. At first, I must say that the previous three, the World Conference on Women, were also successful and important. But why people remembered or celebrated the 30th anniversary of Beijing Conference? I think that because that conference played a very important role in developing women, and focused the key points like education, health, employment. And I think that it also recognized the contribution of Chinese side, because especially also that conference adopted, just like you mentioned, the Beijing Declaration and the platform for action. During the past 30 years, China participated almost every project of UN to protection the rights and interests of women and children. For example, we trained more than 200,000 female professionals from more than 180 countries and regions. So really we make a big achievement for women's development, not only from China but also from the countries of the whole world. And the good news for us that in autumn this year, China will again hold the Global Women Summit. So let's together to expecting that another big success. Even today, I have a very fresh memory about the golden autumn of Beijing in 1995. At that time, I was already working in Ministry of Foreign Affairs, so I personally participate that conference. Yeah, I still remember that almost 50,000 female representatives from the government or NGO from 189 countries and organizations together in Beijing. So on the street, we can see so many women with different colors faces, and they together discuss about how to improve women's position, and also successfully adopted that declaration.
How would you say that China differs from other countries when it comes to women in the workplace, giving them the same access the men do, the men have, giving them the same opportunities, the same roles, the same pay? What does China do differently from these other countries?
I always think that realizing gender equality need law protection and practical actions. So that's why we have the labor law and the law on protection the interests for women. Yeah, and if happened some accident like discrimination or violence or unequal treatment to women, it should be punished by law. And now I think that in China, women can get the working opportunities in every career, every fields. You know that we have excellent female astronaut. We have very famous scientists like Tu Youyou, yes, who changed the world using a small plant, because she led her team to overcome many difficulties and bring the world an anti-malaria drug. And even she gained the Nobel Prize in medicine. So she served millions of people's life, especially in Africa. So people usually call her medicine goddess to the East. And I think that even during the work, you know that Chinese women, they during their marriage or the we can see how to see, like childbirth, yes, or breastfeeding. Yes, the employer, yes, should pay the same salary. They can't fail them. So I think that their rights can be protected by the government, by the law.
You mentioned breastfeeding, and I'm wondering, in the workplace, do employers provide like a separate room for nursing mothers who are also working to be able to, have access to their children during work hours? And is there a creche, for the children so that the mothers are able to check in on them and then go back to work and, just go back and forth?
Where they worked must guarantee, yes, the period for breastfeeding. And in most their workplace, they have special room for mother, yes, and so they can have enough rights to keep a child.
How do Chinese companies deal with the issue of sexual harassment in the workplace, especially for women?
So I said that after the founding of New China, Chinese government had achieved so many protecting system, especially through the education. Yeah, in China we have a special project to how to say that provide the education opportunity for girls, yeah, for 9 years basic education. So now Chinese women have a higher education level, and also through the health care or some medicine care, health insurance, and to make the women's health. You know that now the average life of expectancy of women already achieved to 81 years old, even longer than men. Yeah, and also we keep all the work opportunity for women. Yeah, so they can be the good, outstanding professionals, scientists, yes, in every career.
You yourself, you are the first female consul general of China to Nigeria. How does being in this position, how is it different? How does it shape and impact this role that's been occupied by men for so many years?
I can't say that I changed the role of consul general, but I must say that I feel more popular than my previous consul general. Really, that when I introduced myself, I told them I'm the first female general counsel. I always receive a warm applause, and especially that when I introduced my Nigerian name, so I think that I can even closer to the people. But on the other side, I think that I must put in more efforts and sacrifice. You know that I'm a female, yeah. So if a male diplomat, when they work abroad, yes, so maybe their wife can take care of their family. But when I work abroad alone, I don't have time to take care of my family, and I'm so sad. Difficult. I'm so sad that during the pandemic, my parents unfortunately passed away, but I can't go back home. And even I unable to take care of my daughter, who was in middle school. I missed her all 3 years, and now she's in higher school. You can see that I still stay in Lagos. But I'm so proud. I have very good husband, and he helped me to take care of my family and my daughter. And my husband and my daughter even are very proud of me. My daughter usually tell her classmates that I have a diplomat mother working in Africa, and in the future I want to be a diplomat. So I'm so proud, satisfied. So I really think that no matter men or women, especially the female diplomats, we have the same outstanding work ability or styles, but even we should put in more efforts.
Do you think, China, having made so much innovation, you have women working, earning equal pay, having the same opportunities, now diplomats in businesses, in organizations, in government. Do you foresee a female president in the future?
Why not? Yes, here we have so many outstanding female patriots. Yeah, but I think that whether men or women, as long as the president of a country is recognized by law, is supported by the people from all ethnic groups, if it's supported, by the parties, and if he had the national ability, national responsibility, solid work experience, so he can be a good leader if he have ability to lead a country. I must say that fortunately that after the founding of the new year, all leaders have these outstanding abilities and emotions. Especially our current President Xi Jinping. He is fully supported by the Communist Party and the 8 democratic parties. He is loved by all Chinese people. He is respected by the international community. Even he is recognized for his governance philosophy. You know that he proposed so many important initiatives like Belt and Road, like global development, security. So I think that he have brought important guidance and the significant reference significance to the countries from the world, include China and Nigeria.
Also, Yan Yuqing, thank you
so
much.
You so much.
Thank you.
Take a photo?
Thank you.
Yeah, I should.
That's our show for today. I trust it's been informative as it was interesting. I'm Amarachi Ubani. I'll see you next time.